Okay, so the Leviathan raid. We'll start with the Castellanium, where we collect flags to open doors. You can collect flags from each of the doors that is not the one you are opening at the time. The doors are split up for each raid encounter. So Cup is the throne room where we are at now. Sun is the royal pools. Axes is the Gauntlet, and the dog symbol is for the pleasure gardens encounter. So what you do is you stand on the platform that you are actually trying to open the door, and it will pop up a symbol. That symbol will indicate the door you have to go to. We head to the door, start by clearing the ads, then a big yellow ultra bar will spawn, kill him, then you'll be able to pick up the flag and then carry it to the door that you're opening. Here we're opening royal pools, so see when I slam it in there was the cup symbol, and now see axes is up, so then I'm heading to axes to do the same thing. Usually split it up with a few people, killing ads and defending the door, and just one or two people going grabbing the flag. It's really pretty simple, but a lot of people split the teams into 3 and 3. It's up to you. Usually send just about everyone to the first one to save ammo. And that's pretty much it for this encounter, as we kill this ultra here to again grab the flag and head back. So once you've got your last flag and slam it in the door, it will open the door. You will get your engram and shaders, and that will open the door to the encounter you are trying to do. So the first encounter we will cover is the royal pools, which is a rather simple one where the 6 guardians will be split up into teams. There are 4 plates around the room with a 5th plate in the middle. Now we split them up into top left, top right, bottom right and middle from when you enter the room. You can name it however you want. And essentially people need to be standing on these plates to raise the lanterns in the center room, which we will do damage to at the end of the raid. It's a really simple encounter. Each plate has a buff. The middle plate has a buff that usually is used when alternating people around. That's 49 seconds long to protect you from the pool in the floor that damages you. So generally we will just keep people swapping top left to bottom left and top right to bottom right and so forth, keeping people on the left side and right side. You can keep people across on diagonals, top and bottom, running across which way ever you want, but we just keep people to a side. It's rather simple and you can move fast. So the important thing is to watch out for the beavers that spawn. They're pretty tough, so if you are using a rocket launcher, make sure you stand towards the back of your platform so you don't blow it up. Also use your merciless and shotguns are really good for the beavers. So the idea is to just stand on the platforms to raise the lanterns. You'll see if the chains are not moving, someone is not on the platform. The important thing in here is to, if you run out of your psionic protection, is to make sure you get off the platform and start to run to the center to get another buff. See there, I step back off the platform. Now I run out and I get swapped out. So here I save my grenades for the middle to kill ads so they don't stack up too much there. I grab that buff and then I move to the bottom left. I'm swapping out these guys here. Challenge mode, if you're doing that, someone has to stay in the middle. So if you're doing that, generally people will just rotate around the room. So top left goes to top right to bottom left around the room. Essentially that's it. Once that's done, the lanterns will lock into place, chains will lock, and everyone will move to the middle. Generally we keep one person dedicated to clearing ads, and the rest will do damage to the lanterns. Now as long as everyone's organised, this is easy to do in one damage phase, But if you don't get all the lanterns, 2 signs will spawn. One you'll need to punch in the middle, one you'll need to shoot at the top of the room, front of the room, and then everyone just go to their starting positions and then start the encounter, the lantern pulling again. So here we are, we see we clear the one baby that spawns immediately, and then everyone jumps on. So if you've got Empowering Rift with Arc Souls, and if you've got Titans, make sure you drop Rally Barriers and smash it. Here a few people die, these things happen. If you die, jump off and clear ads. So see, we go around the room doing damage. Here I die. So yeah, when you die, you'll lose your sign of protection. So go into clearing ads move and rotate everyone around. This will help everyone get through, but it's done before I even need to kill our ravers. So that's pretty much the encounter. It's really simple. So the next encounter to be discussed is the Pleasure Gardens or Doggos. It's really easy. To start with, you'll run around as a group in case no one has heavy, killing the ads with just your melees and normal weapons to collect heavy ammo. Then you will go to the center to actually activate the encounter by getting your 2 guys on top who are using the orbs to pop flowers for the damage buffs to grab them and start the encounter. The other 4 guardians will fall through the hole and start walking around the maze to collect the damage buffs next to flowers. And then you'll go and do damage to the dogs, which is really easy. Generally the 2 guys up top will be dealing with L3 and R3 dogs, which is the furthest ones, and since they're in the air it's easier for them to get to them, and then split the other 4 dogs of Forest, L1, R1 and R2 among the normal crew. Now, an important thing to remember when you are on the top is that as soon as you pop a flower, beast handlers will spawn out of each side, which you'll need to shoot with your lasers. Also beware of jumping in front of dogs above and over them. This is particularly a big thing in prestige mode. So usually on normal mode, when you drop down, as soon as they spawn, everyone picks up their orbs. Now you can go out the left side if everyone's quick, but going out the right side is very safe on normal mode. Now it's either going to be R2 or L2 for the very first call on normal mode, and the other one, whether it's one of them, will be L1 or R1. Now the quick key to quick speed is to always go to R2 or L2, because of the way the dogs patterns are, you will get straight in, get the buff and run away, is what we just did there. So now the 2 handlers above will be killing the beast handlers as I move to L1. So that was R2, now I'm heading to L1. So if you go to L1 or R1 and then go to the second flower on the other side, you'll have to wait and it'll slow you down if you're trying to get bulk buffs. So it's key to go to that one. So now I've got trees here lining up very well after those 2. The order will vary usually after them, but now I'm just waiting for him to get into position to shoot our flower for it. So after you've got your first 2 that are called initially, you'll just be waiting for your orb shooters to tell you what the next flowers are, and you'll move around the room as necessary. You only really need 2 or 3 buffs to kill the dogs if everyone's got full heavy and decent rocket launchers, but it's always good to get more. An important thing to remember that if you're doing challenge mode, you get 1 buff each orb handler, then you'll go do damage to your dogs and then head back to the middle room and drop down the hole, so just do a little bit of damage and then go again and get another 2 dashes. You can do that up to 3 times before you wipe, of running back to that room where one of the other guardians just jumped into. And that's the encounter. And kill your dogs. Rocket launchers, shotguns, fusion rifle, mercilesses are always good to use. So the Gauntlet encounter is split into several sections. Firstly, you will all be shooting ads to clear your plate. Secondly, 2 people will be running orbs around the actual Gauntlet challenge, while guardians inside are shooting their barriers open and punching silence to prevent wipes. The third stage is where everyone runs the gauntlet at the end, collecting orbs and avoiding the pitfalls as we travel around to deposit the last remaining orbs we need into the center left. So the guardians that are running will be calling us the row which their orb will be in. For example, sun bottom there. The guardians on the outside will shoot the other two symbols to open the gateway for them to get through and call their orbs. The way we do this, guardians on the outside will be split into teams. We shoot left, so you'll be shooting the symbol on your plate directly in front of you, and also the one to the left. So sun plate will shoot sun and dog. Dog plate will shoot dog and axe. Axe plate will shoot axe and cup. Cup plate will shoot cup and sun, and around we go. The way we do it to save confusion is sun and axe plates will be shooting the bottommost symbol not called, and dog and cup will shoot the topmost symbol. It's really simple. This goes on 3 times, and each time you will have to clear ads on your plates. The runners obviously run from dog and cup plates, so they will generally try to help the players on either of the other platforms, but generally keep your most experienced gunners on the sun and axe plates, because they will generally be on their own clearing ads. Once you clear the ads, the yellow guy will pop up, yellow bar, kill him, then jump on your plates and wait for the next orbs to spawn for the runners to bring into the center. Once that's all done, essentially everyone will run. Now with running, everyone will need to get orbs to get around the gauntlet, but there's only 4 orbs per platform. Essentially what we do is split it into 3 groups, generally off Discord order. So the first 2 names will skip the first and fourth, the second 2 names will skip the second and the last gate, and the third names will skip the third gate. In Prestige there's only 3 orbs, so a lot of people like to keep practice by keeping it even and odd. That can save a lot of confusion, but generally at the end of your second orb, if someone misses something or is a bit slow, they could die. Also your screen starts to get full of the psionic overload charge, which blurs your vision. So as you see here, we all called, we all grab our orbs and we run around the gauntlet. Now, an important thing to notice is as long as you're fast runners, someone just needs to get near the third gate to get get everyone past. So after you clear the second gate, as you can see here, there is the platforms fall away. So if someone's struggling with jumping, just give them the lower platform orbs if you can coordinate that, or get them as soon as they jump out of the second gate is to fall down. As you can see, one of our guys has failed, but we still have heaps of time to clear everything and get to the res. Here I run through and get the res in time. As long as none of the runners made any mistakes during the actual challenge, there will only need to be 2 orbs or 3 orbs into the end, and the more people fails during the actual 3 phase with 2 runners, the more peak guardians that will have to make it at the end, and that is the gauntlet. The challenge mode is really easy. All you need to do is have all the guardians stand on a plate before the runners go in and get their orbs. It's super simple. Okay, so the Throne Calus final boss encounter for the Leviathan raid is not very difficult, and it just really relies on people surviving and doing their part. It's split into 3 sections. So 1 is the throne room, 2 is the void, and 3 is actual damage phase of Calus. So generally people split the guardians, 3 in the throne and 3 in the void, but we keep 2 experienced shooters in the throne room and have 4 in the void. This allows us to get the maximum amount of stacks when we're shooting the heads that fly out of Calus's mouth in the void realm. Basically, the 4 guardians will experience a double up in the symbols on Calus's head, but otherwise the encounter will be much the same. The guardians in the throne will be usually sticking to each to a side, and the important thing to do is essentially listen out for the 4 calls, and as soon as possible, once the 4 symbols are called, whether it's cup, axe, sun or axes, to then punch the symbol that wasn't called. This will create the next barrier for the guardians in the void to then jump to in preparation for the next calls and line of scions to kill. If you do not punch them in time, the guardians will not have a barrier and they'll get sucked forward to their death, as is about to happen right now. This will basically cause a wipe and kill all the guardians. After we kill the initial group of ads after disturbing Calus from his drinks, all of the guardians will then be teleported into the void realm. The guardians going back into the throne will collect the orbs positioned there. The other guardians in the void will get ready for the symbol to be on his forehead. Now the guardians will call this as they see it. Again, there will be a double up. Quickly look for the symbol and then ADS get ready to kill scions. Then when you see that the next barrier is being put up, jump forward. Now the idea is to avoid holes and ramps. See a look, and then basically as soon as you see the symbol, look down sights and be ready to kill your scions. The important ones to kill first are the normal scions, which will jump you up and kill you or your teammates. Kill them, then kill the others. Make your calls, give the throne guardians time to punch the symbols, jump forward. You will do this several times, again looking for the symbol, shooting the scions. We generally have the left guardian shoot the right side, right guardian shoot the left, because of the ramps that may be in the way. Once this is done, at the end there'll be no more symbols, but there will still be another lot of scions to shoot. Once this is done, all the guardians will stack up as far back as they can to get room. If you have auto rifle submachine guns, Cold Heart is really good. Barriers are really good, but with 4 guardians in the room you don't need arc souls on at all. So basically you will shoot as many of these, just popping the heads. As soon as you see a number, move on to another one that is stacking. On the left, Force of Will, the damage buff for this. Once we get enough, the 2 guardians in the throne room will be popping his overshield. Basically you want to get as close to 100 Force of Will multipliers as you can to get maximum damage and to avoid a second damage phase being required. Once the overshield is popped, the orbs will be spawned for everyone to come in. Now we go counterclockwise, so everyone will spawn in, stack up on dogs. If you have the armor mod, punch a dog and jump on the plate. Now it's good to coordinate rally barriers on different plates if you have titans, and any empowering rifts with arc souls of any warlocks that you have, with any golden gun hunters. Now as you can see, we've barely melted him, but basically you have to also watch for the different wipe phases. One is the normal cannon if you don't do a third damage. 2 is the second cannon from his arm if you've got him down to a 2/3, and then that's the final one where he drops 5 from the ground as indicated there. So the idea is to go around the room, do as much damage, punch dogs if you've got them to get your modifier, and kill him as quick as possible. Once you've done all the damages, you will then get this final overshield to kill him with. Rather simple encounter and straightforward. Basically rocket launchers are good, cluster bombs, any merciless up close range, and then the other guns that you see fit. Cold Heart's good to have for your secondary slot. But that is the throne room Calus encounter. Basically when you're on the platforms, watch out for any of his 3 damage indicators. So basically, armed over the head where he's about to solar bomb you, to his cannon pops out like Megatron from Generation 1, and he's about to shoot you, run off to the next platform, and 3, the animation that was just shown in the video where he drops fire from the sky. Move as a group, don't get off. If you get to the immune stage and where he does one of the animations where he starts to explode, don't run off till he gets up and then does one of those animations. The only other thing is, if you are two-manning the throne and you are unexperienced with it, it's good to have one as a warlock at least, with healing rift and no arc souls to protect you, as you'll see at the end of this clip during the overshield bit, as the heads are flying out to the void people, and then also using that arc super to clear ads once all the calls have been made. I generally keep one of them if it is a hunter or a titan with their good damage supers for Calus, but it's not necessary. 2 clearing supers are even better. But that's about it. The rest of this video will be the point of view from being inside the throne, punching scions, and then clearing the overshield while also trying to avoid dying.
Dog.
Nexus.
Sun.
Punching carp.
X. Sun. Got.
Dog.
Carp.
Punching axe. Was that last one or second last?
Second last. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh sorry, it's just silence. Alright, I'll get rid of some of them anyway, okay.
Is that most of them? Just yell when you want me to drop my rift. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Are you fucking